You're going over your newsfeed and realize that the game CrossfireX is finally out on Xbox. This first-person shooter has been in the news for the past couple of years, and now it's finally here for those to play. For those who are uninformed though, this might be news to them. So sit back as we count down 10 burning questions about CrossfireX you're curious to ask and want to get answered. We start off at number 10. What is CrossfireX? Drawing from the success of the Crossfire multiplayer online game, the makers decided to make a version for Microsoft Xbox to cater to the Western audience. Thus, CrossfireX was born. We have Smilegate Entertainment to thank for the original PC version, which has been out for over a decade and is widely played in Asia. However, it never really got off the ground in North America because of the other more popular first-person shooters out in the market. In fact, many Westerners are not familiar with Crossfire and may not have even heard of the game. This is where CrossfireX comes in, which is a collaboration between Smilegate and Remedy Entertainment. If you're fond of the games Alan Wake and Control, you'll definitely be familiar with Remedy as the developers. As it turns out, Smilegate took care of the multiplayer development chores of CrossfireX, while Remedy took on the cudgels of the single-player campaign. Number 9. Where is CrossfireX available? On February 10, 2022, CrossfireX was launched exclusively for Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. So if you're a console player, this new game is at your disposal, and you can catch it on Game Pass, of course. CrossfireX is available in all markets, and game servers are located in multiple regions, namely Japan, Southeast Asia, Brazil, Northern Europe, Australia, Western Europe, and North America. Number 8. Do you have to pay for anything? Though CrossfireX is available to Game Pass subscribers, only the multiplayer mode and one single-player campaign is free for all to play. This campaign is called Operation Catalyst. If you want to check out the second campaign called Operation Spectre, you have to pay $8.99 at the time of writing this. You will then get a few more hours of single-player gameplay. To get ahead of the curve, there is a battle pass that you can buy for $8.99. In return, you will get exclusive multiplayer characters and weapon skins, as well as in-game currency and gameplay boosts. Number 7. What does CrossfireX have to offer? In terms of gameplay, it offers multiplayer and single-player modes to the avid gamer. As mentioned earlier, the single-player campaigns are also called Operation Catalyst and Operation Spectre. The first of which, you are sent on a mission with other soldiers to kill the leader of another faction. The second campaign has you being recruited by the Blacklist faction to carry out their missions. The multiplayer action comes in two distinct modes, namely Classic and Modern. In Classic, there are two scenarios you get to play. The first, called Search and Destroy, one team must place a bomb in one of the two predetermined locations, and the other team prevents it. A second victory condition is the elimination of the entire opposing team. The second scenario, called Ghost, is similar, but the attacking team has camouflage and can use melee weapons. The less the players move, the more visible they become. The defenders have to rely on hearing to determine their movements. The Modern mode offers more familiar gameplay for fans of new shooters. Here, you can shoot with aiming devices, accelerate with a sprint, and respawn after the death of a character. The point capture scenario is attached to the Modern mode, and the goal is to capture and hold control points. And the team that earns the most points wins. The choice of weapons is implemented through a system of loadouts, which are adjustable between matches. There are a lot of different weapons, and they behave differently. Therefore, you need to get used to them and learn how to shoot accordingly. Number 6. What have the reviews been like? It's unfortunate to say that the reviews for CrossfireX have not been accepting and favorable. On the official Xbox website, more than half of the reviews gave the game a 1 out of 5-star rating, and there were over 2,000 reviews and still counting. They were a mishmash of negative comments that said, for example, worst game of 2022, don't bother, just wait, and steaming pile of garbage. However, there were a few rare constructive comments like this one that said, "Has potential but not looking good at the moment." IGN gave the game a 3 out of 10 stars, saying, "CrossfireX's pair of campaigns are untidy, generic slogs with all the excitement and flavor of a communion wafer." It elaborated further, saying, quote, "Whether it's the bland characters, brain-dead enemy AI, forgettable levels, or downright offensive controls for the gunplay, everything about these brief campaigns feels phoned in." Those were some incredibly harsh words for the game, and it didn't fare any better with the review coming from Gamerant, which stated, quote, "The matchmaking has worked quite well in our time with the game so far, but the content, controls, and pretty much everything else needs a major facelift. As for the campaign, anyone that sees the Remedy Entertainment logo and thinks that this is a testament to the quality of the single-player mode will be sorely disappointed." Gamerant sadly gave CrossfireX a dismal 0.5 out of 5-star rating. Number 5. What are the problems and issues? The reviews themselves have mentioned a number of concerns which have turned off a lot of gamers evidently. The single-player campaigns apparently are quite easy to accomplish even if it's at the top difficulty. It therefore only takes a couple of hours to finish. The enemies stand around as if waiting to get shot at, or they run towards danger and allow themselves to get blown up by barrels of explosives just lying around conveniently for you to blast. The controls are glitchy, making it hard for you to aim. They are unresponsive and appear to be on a slight delay at times. The campaign storyline are generic and sound like any other first-person shooter that came before but were done better. It appears that no careful thought was given to the creation. Instead of coming up with a unique and compelling storyline, it rather resorted to checking off boxes of cliches and common themes. The multiplayer mode is not spared from these same problems, which makes it hard for players to truly appreciate the game. Number 4. What's the future of CrossfireX? Despite its plethora of problems plaguing the game, Smilegate has issued an apology for its shaky launch and promised to resolve the issues. On top of the list is correcting controller sensitivity so that aiming will be accurate and flawless. They have plans to make this more customizable to make the experience more enjoyable. More maps will be added soon to the classic and modern modes, therefore gamers can look forward to that if all hasn't been lost. Sliding issues will also be addressed, which is another thing that will make the game more appealing. If things go as planned, Smilegate would certainly want CrossfireX to be a big draw for Xbox. Number 3. How is CrossfireX different from the PC version? As mentioned previously, CrossfireX has single-player campaigns which are a component of most games. This is what the PC version does not have. The multiplayer contains the classic and modern modes that elevate the Crossfire franchise to a new level. From special aiming to sprinting and other customizable extras, CrossfireX has the potential to be something entirely new and set itself apart from its predecessor. The graphical component is starkly different as well. Microsoft made it a point to improve the graphics, and one can only assume that a bulk of the budget went into this endeavor. The characters look realistic and expressive. The skins are crisp, intricate, and remarkable. Weapons are worked out to the tiniest detail. The look of the buildings and surroundings are just a feast for the eyes that could make players veer away from the action for moments at a time. Number 2. When will it be available on PC? CrossfireX was developed exclusively for Xbox. Nevertheless, Microsoft also supports PC as a pure market, and virtually every new game that is exclusive for Xbox is also released on PC. For this reason, Crossfire fans cannot help but anticipate the CrossfireX version to be released on PC as well, and not just on Xbox One and Xbox Series X and S. For the time being, there are no announcements. Neither Smilegate nor Microsoft have disclosed any schedule to port CrossfireX on the Epic Store, Steam, or any alternative PC platform. And finally, number 1. Will gamers accept CrossfireX with open arms when it's released on PC? That totally depends if all the bugs and glitches have been resolved. This will probably be corrected over time on the Xbox, but once it's ready, its move to PC may just be over the horizon. Only time will tell though, and it's only gamers like you who can answer this question. Are you looking forward to CrossfireX on PC? Leave your answer in the comments below. If you can't wait for the PC version, you can always buy an Xbox and check out the game from there. Just be patient as the makers try to get rid of all the glitches. And that brings us to the end of our list. 10 burning questions about CrossfireX. Which question was the most urgent? Was it the game's features and availability, or perhaps the difference with the PC version? Or maybe it's something else not mentioned here? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Don't get left behind, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get more videos. Can't get enough? Click on your screen for more. Till then, see you in the next video.